Shiva 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 Shambho.
Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho.
Shiva 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 Shambho.
Oneness.
Coexistence.
Oneness.
Coexistence.
Oneness.
Coexistence.
This is Openness in Faith End Time Mission, 16th January 2022, in the year of our Lord. And then, as I ever shared here, Ubia and your national, the ocean so unshiny, na additional the able to chassis.
Topic: Spiritual practices. In the name of Almighty, the Absolute God, I wish all of us peace and tranquility. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
In our day-to-day life, there are certain things we effortlessly do them because we have developed the habit of doing them regularly, and this brings perfection. What we do regularly in order to be perfect are called practices or exercises. The sportsman regularly practice their sport. The students regularly practice his studies. Other workers from time to time undergo orientation in order to maintain their sharpness as far as their work is concerned, and to be abreast with current changes as well.
Bon. Topic here, spiritual practices. Said the Misha see. Waya brabo mu no mebu ho ye ya yembre. Oba wo no meduane no a waya ombre. Bema onim bibiye. Ohun so gba akọhoma bo nye ne den. Bema bi onwunwa akọhoma bo ho mbra wo sika no. Or problem. Why? Obi a on time driver. What kind of clutch and a clutch? The clutch and the brake, they be a failure on my boy. To go how the tear brake you can know as I tear accelerator, my boy. Like I said, on your conversant. Driver only driving, or then you are not going to put near the Ituka. Your name boy, they be a ya. A kaya one answer ye. So one time, ya, and cow. So I give an example. In himself, football teams, at least every Sunday, we can number match. But within the week, they can't train in the work. They train every day. Maybe 2-3 times a week. Sunday, weekend match in the bar. He puts what he has been training into practice. Footballer, uncle training, your man is and I am man. Like I said, without training or exercise or practice, you cannot do something. And today, the idea and say, you per se a brabo perfect. And into no training. Akola one time share ade no. Obeden pass exams. Enunti after classroom awie no or border or boardings or boarding school akọ classes awie na na classroom awie no. Eso akọ prep akusua de nyesa. We dey students so obafia usua. Akola obafia wonsua de exams ba na hotel no. Until that pass akola na kwatena classroom asua de no. Who say obafia or no leisure time usua de. That is practice or exercise. If I tell what you say. Now, saa nneɛma wɔ ɛyɛ ma yɛn ho de biara no So there's always a spiritual aspect of something we do physical. So there be a wood dear, said a bear, when bear come a common de wa, ya kai. Say, soon so dear na way out. Saturday so a so see. Now hatana wato na eyefe na wo sha, that is physical. Ka wo so who say and your spiritual life. How do you look? To be about physical, they are the core intimidate. Physical things, I'm an example. They need to practice. They need to do exercises. They need to train. The more now we exercise, now we train in our practice. Now the way and so let's continue.
Religion is the way that reminds man that he is a spirit being, and so man should be able to have a link and knowledge of this truth. Any religion which does not hammer on this truth is actually a Mudean society. This means because man is a spirit being, there should be spiritual exercises or practices that he should be engaging regularly in order to be abreast with this truth
Yes.
of being a spiritual being.
Yes. Religion na yeka no. Nipa ama religion asay. Religious place is not a fashion center. Religious place enye ho na yekoko bisade yekwa akope sika. Wanye adwuma unye sika. That is a fact. The religion person o chere ne say wan kasa wonim se wo ye nipa akọ up and down ba. Ni obi na beka se wo ye nipa. Na mmom ukọ na wo ba nyina no. Ahwe wire be fi wo se amo ade se wo a wuni. Ana religion se da bi o. Enye wo a wuni. Wo ya honam a ukita honhom. So you are a spirit being. Pacho moti ase. Nti religion e boss ankaye no. So the bia de wo ye nyina achi no honam achi no wo ye honhom. And international bia wo be wuram a yantwe wa adwini si so. So you have a soul. We are honhom mo nipa. You have a link with God. Esum bia enche osadem. It is a mundane society. Mundane means worldly, physical. It is a much society be amukotena ho na muji mani na mono monsa na mutu muhofu. That is physical. You can say enye, but purely physical. But on yen chira was no. You are a spirit being, so be conscious of yourself. Yen chira ho. Esum bi abe wuram religion bi abe wuram yen chira sada no. I say it is a mundane society. I don't enam say nipa air spirit being into no. Now nipa physical body because of the physical body we exercises and practices na me kire wo no. Because of your physical body. Sa na tie dia sa what you say we spirit being na. Say when you spiritual exercises to uplift your spirit self. Meaning somewhat here. Hello? Also when you spiritual exercises. Na timi amwanya ahusano kura na ye kan say I am a spirit being. I have a direct link with God. So you'll be able to discover it. Without exercises, without spiritual exercises, you don't practice anything.
Anytime we physically do something as an exercise or practice, we should ask ourselves what we are doing about our spiritual practice.
Where there's some maybe a baby, honamani physical, no yaka, I was almost say, soon practice ben away day. Oh, yeah, interest.
The teachings in religions are to give us knowledge and guide us, but the spiritual practices enable us to discover the truth for ourselves. Knowledge with spiritual practices make us complete as physical and spiritual beings.
Good.
All major religions have spiritual practices, though different in approach and styles. but the intention is the same. The sages have said it's very wise to have at least one spiritual practice in one's life, and it should be regular.
Thank you. Now, Esumbia Emma Nimdie knowledge. Na Emma in Checheni atini the friend guidance. Nembom spiritual practices no Emma wankasa hunukure na ama wo ho. Hello? Ya bechere ade e de ato ho na wati. If you don't put it into practice, obedi ehun se de ka na e nokure. The actual Bible, Quran, Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishad, the Vedas, the Talmud, you can name them, all the scriptures. The actual woman, what discover who say no correct? Without the spiritual practices, we cannot discover it. So, who are knowledge in there? Now the spiritual practice come one. Am I complete? Say physical and spiritual being. Esuma who do we are seeing our spiritual practices. When your body are two different from each other, then so the intention is the same. Your money na person what you say. So what you have this practice now, you grow spiritual. Masters are very as the more can say, be at least. Esa wunya at least. Esa wunya one spiritual practice. Obey every day and it should be regular. What spiritual practice now? What are you for yourself? There are many, but say at least one. One yampone one. It should be regular. Seriously, Anandamuti said, those who practice sadhana meditation regularly, the thought of God will arrive in their mind at the time of death. Their liberation is a sure guarantee. Amamoye sadhana, which is spiritual practice, was it on your final day, the thought of God will come in your mind, and so you are liberated. The about that makes you. Make us say, "Utie me." The old wajimono, ayewo. What you think becomes you. So in totality, at the end of exiting this world, the final thought, actually who you are, who you have been. If you want the final thought, about God, then be God conscious in all your activities. So yes, sir, your final thought, your final exit. Ajuna emfa kwem ne beba. Ajuna emfa kwem so ba. You cannot discover your source. Anameboa. What you can drive or drink or protect. Who answer what you are run about? Who answer what you are run about? Once what peaceful life. Oh, drive correct. But Adriano if you take. You are still driving though, but why Stemeboa Monka? Okay, don't put the Mobaka say extreme. No south to come baby. Why would so be see her? Adrian feel wouldn't know. Uche, Carriage, why did you have that? Why wouldn't so see her? When it's a night, Chem Grandma 1 mile. Night ways and Cassicani when we see her. Yes. So your thought determines your destination. The essence of spiritual practice, no. A guardian thought to be God conscious. Now aboa in your day-to-day activities.
The mission of Offer, which I, Lord AYASS Baba, has brought is to help eschew the ignorant notion religions have for each other. We can only do away with this if we do away with our parochial interest and take a little time to try to understand the practices of other religions, and this will bring peace and harmony.
Often, Lord AYASS Baba, media ba nature dear. But I say, Sa adwen tanta ewe yetrim efa esoma hodo ho no ebe ye fi yetrim say ye betumi aye sa de a spiritual practices e wosom bia mu no ye pese wo hu kakra na watimi ate o mase Down your matina so yes, I back as an idea na ye. Ada wo phrase dana or chantiana. Then our bomb body no more bomb from the Zobia Wabusa. A dear Susuni. Papa Hawk so our row and son on an ultimate okujare. Yeah, Casabasa. Also, put a movie for the bassa. We are the Poda Passa Bombay. Ubia Hunyanse or Ron and Son and Nanny Tim. Na temperature na ayo cool. Na wachese or practice purity before God. One thing na sinti ukasetiano. Anentesa. So we are saying often, Lord, I ask God, and we can say, so who spiritual practices soon be a year. Do not condemn unnecessarily. Into one and a bit me at na as we dream. Into soon be na say someone say an habit of or sorry son incense, no born empire. And I'm so down bed into what incense and can. Was it or present now and I can woman. But so what you say ordinary lame and a spiritual practice no ya where any wasam me wa. Also quite what ye. Ubu for a woman and what have sorry 10 days when your spiritual practice that. On our sorry 12 and idea was an idea that you were sorry present. Meanwhile you are doing nothing. Not all develop a channel just because of ignorance. This is what I want to do away in religion and fashion.
I am therefore going to try to at least teach about some practices of some religions so that you know a little bit about them.
This is a topic I can write a big book. Big. And in my fact, few religions. And because of my spiritual practice, I can write plenty. But
in Christianity, there is no clear-cut spiritual practices aside the worship and prayer section. And this is evident in the fact that churches worship differently and have different approach in their teachings. I can exempt Catholicism, which I'm more conversant with because aside the normal Eucharistic celebration called the Mass, there are other spiritual practices in Catholicism.
Thank you. Honestly speaking, this may seem harsh, but in to me, there is no single spiritual practice in Christianity aside say na two praises and worship near preaching. Nekofia at the same prayer near Bomeboa. There is no clear-cut spiritual practice. Say if you are a Christian, do this every day. Oh no. So I person Timasia, baby Antiase no want to say. I sorry be our in church and kind of fast one and pie. So there's no clear-cut format. Some spiritual practice, Christianity any. This brings doubt. And the Pentecost Nicolo Mason de Ma were complete stranger. But the same Jesus and the same Bible. And I'm a boy. Okay, the waters are shown the kingdom holla. If you go to Church of Christ, echoes a friend saying spiritual churches are sorry, obey them. But the same Bible, the same Jesus. There is a problem. And until the end, I was said, despite the different denominations, every Christian, every day, every week, every month, Montaigne say, Mungu say, Bino. Aside the Lent, fasting on way, aside the Lent, which is fasting, no, no crampono. I chain Orthodox churches never can. And a unique clear-cut spiritual practice in Christianity. In the other churches, it is when the pastor wants that he says 21 days fasting. When he wants, he will say 18 days fast. And I'm aware, unique clear-cut format for spiritual practices in Christianity. This I will say to the world. Number, because I know Catholicism very well, Roman, sorry, and I can say there are some spiritual practices. Aside the kind of Eucharistic celebration, the kind of mass, no, your Nyaman Kitin Roma, sorry for a spiritual practice. Sorry, manage ain't taking it serious. Only or that set waba mass, Nayapon. those things on yet. Oko Massa, you just meet to celebrate the Eucharist. But what Okofia, as a Catholic, what do you do for yourself personally? And then they are sorry, idea to work, and not in Shabby, and trust.
Practices such as the recitation of the Holy Rosary, the practices of the Station of the Cross, and the benediction service should be seen as spiritual practice that the members should regularly practice apart from attending the Mass.
So in Catholic Church, there was the recitation of the Holy Rosary. Yes, Rosary. There was Stations of the Cross. And among Christ fair film right chain of Pim Sessabi, you want to send them according to the Bible. Roma sorry AYASS steps. So every step, we now at the bonfire. And our benediction. So as a Catholic, what film upon Mass you will hear Stations of the Cross on your own? Or do you recite the Rosary on your own? We are making, I've started with spiritual practices of some religions. The Catholic Church, and the Holy Rosary, the Stations of the Cross, and sometimes the benediction. Almost the and this only Roman TV. Now say, oh, no, sorry, no, a book today, no, sorry, no, two step, no, a book today, no, sorry. I didn't Church of Christ, but I said, then a Roman, you also the spiritual practices, Stations of the Cross. Sadly, I'm okay, make I am say simple. It's in Topani, I kaba ufi. And I'm a boy. It's in Topa, and I kind eba because Osha walk to know us or now take a step. Me when Nipan aircraft is Stations of the Cross.
The Holy Rosary takes the practitioner through so many spiritual steps, which include the life and suffering of Jesus Christ, as well as his mother Mary. It also reminds the practitioner about the joy after suffering. The main recital word in the Holy Rosary is the Hail Mary and the Lord's Prayer.
So what does the Rosary do? Rosary then a spiritual steps are a body all sin on emanity as say. Ye war a bread a manihunu anywhere DJ. Because your sorrowful mystery, no boy, your joyful mystery. A trow a manihune a brabo cry Jesus and an mammy married a fair. Like the Annunciation, the Becca be no Mary and no soon. So what has God announced to you? Then you think about it while you are reciting the Rosary. This is for Catholics. They make out here say. And in some of our Rosary, just the Hail Mary, the Lord's Prayer. What is the Hail Mary? The Hail Mary nkomodia obofu Gabriel ne enu Mary di omro obeka chen so obenyima waje kwane samokaya san komodie no mudi e na asore nso de ne mpae ka Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of the womb, Jesus, the both of the kind. And I sorry to also say, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and forevermore. Now, so to the source. Is this not a spiritual exercise? But ask the Catholic youth, how deep do they know this? The Obama Assyria, when there is a spiritual practice in Catholicism. This is what I ask Baba. Have equal eye, the same eye for all religions. The answer the obey no obey tiase na why ni. The next prayer is the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we also forgive those who trespass against us. And the trash. What is this prayer? The only prayer Jesus actually Bible, Matthew chapter 6, and I'm the one. So watch it, and I walk in. And they can say, "They be also rosy now." In Pabona, yes, you did their chin, or work as a Catholic. Do they? Then I yet. So we are and can say, if they understand what they do, and can say, there's something wrong because say we are we don't think about spiritual practices. Next one.
Islam is one religion which has a lot of spiritual practices, which sometimes the ordinary Muslim is not aware of. In fact, despite the different sects in Islam, the 5 daily prayer called Salat is almost the same in all the sects. The Salat is a well-calculated system of making man prostrate to his maker as an act of veneration. The benefit of Salat is enormous, as it helps one to be physically fit due to the standing, bowing, and prostration. It also gives concentration, and the amazing part is the Salat practice actually opens our third eye, which is located in between the 2 eyebrows. This happens due to the regular and repeated touching of the forehead to the ground.
Alhamdulillah. The next one is Islam. Sorry, Koso.
Like the Catholics, the Muslims also use counting beads called the tasbih for recitation of words with deep spiritual meanings. This process called askar, that is singular, or zakr, that is plural, is way of elevating oneself with the recitation of certain words.
Hello? The next one is Islam. Be attentive. Islam is one of the best religions in the world. And anybody can challenge me on that. Forget about what you hear. Spiritual practices or Islam, even some Muslims are not even aware of. But you see, the country will say, in Christianity, there is no format for spiritual practices. In Islam, there are so many sects. And you can have the Faila or the Tijaniya, the Ahl Sunnah, the Salafism, the Shia, the Ahmadiyya Muslim mission. But 5 times daily prayers called Salat are almost the same in every mosque, despite the sect. Apart from differences, say Tijaniya over Ahl Sunnah mosque, the Salat format is the same. The Ahl Sunnah over Tijaniya or Faila mosque, the Salat prayer is the same. The differences, the practices later on. But what you say, Salat prayer there was so many benefits, physical and spiritual. Okoto, okoto. Now sorry. Now abunkutude, how the mama bofom. Exercise benefit. You do this 5 times a day, it means you are exercising your body. The money one say, the more now do have a 2 form, a pim form, you open the 3rd eye. Hello? You open the 3rd eye. I had to do one you. Soon then you when you will not share physical things. That is the reason why Sadi Yempo air bar when you so when you pour down, you see with this side. Or God will let you sleep. Meanwhile, when you have to turn then you see. This you saw with this place. Obi away exercise so be in a hammer or develop. Sana Islam, not only Islam, most religions make sure they prostrate by hitting their forehead to the ground. And manipano develop. Practices be what Islam and the regular recitation of certain words, askar or zikr. As in zikri, a be a nyumutuo, a be a words na all can. And said in the Kayano. So the Roman for Catholic use Rosary. Hello? Islam also uses tasbih or tasbah. tasbih or tasbah to count. Nti ade na Catholic we use rosary. Na Muslim use tasbih or tasbah. Na okasetia. Ade na Muslim we use tasbih. Catholic use rosary. Na okasetia. You are all using beads. For what purpose? For recitation and counting purpose. Of what? Of spiritual words. And the differences, the words you are reciting, you don't know what can. Concentrate on words now, what can. Now, so concentrate on also the words. Then you develop together. Now, what they have to do on a more will be a guitar beats. And can we guitar beats? I will guitar Humana Monko. Mungina a beats. So more. I want to say. So why should the Catholic say the Muslim is lost? Why should the Muslim say the Catholic is lost? When we are all using beads. Hello? Imagine about the usually.
Yes.
And then some of them in their words, like I said in Catholicism, Hail Mary and then the Lord's Prayer. In Islam, plenty. Don't you mean kind? Ntika kre bi na nature ase. Dey di kan ye Alimu, which means what?
Knowledge.
But our margin is important. So when you want knowledge, you say, Ya Alimu. Hello? Ya Alimu. Malam. Alimu is a malam, the giver of knowledge, teacher. The malam, you be a or tifoma, or you soon sumajuma. A casa malam is a teacher. Malimu, he gives knowledge. Ndio kita tasbani ya alimu ya alimu ya alimu ya alimu. Open knowledge. Who say we need knowledge? After the salat, go and ask for knowledge. And here spiritual practice. They make out here say. Next one here then.
Nur.
Which is what?
Light.
Nur. N-U-R or N-O-O-R. Nur, light. And a chapter in the Holy Quran. Was it God is light. And God said, let there be light. Yes, sir. So you are calling on the light of God in your life. Nyamikani na offering. Okwa sorry call must be real. Ya offering nyamikani. So Islam says no. Recently, what is a Catholic? Almost the light mystery about religion be a light. So Islam it is ya nur, ya nur, ya nur. Isuma to sunyina it is ya nur. When the Muslim is in darkness, say never be because one thing was is in darkness. Then you break it and tasba. Eka yanu, yanu, yanu. Usu wayera. Now to soon. Nakanya ede. Eponso. Next word.
Fatau.
Which means
The opener.
fatau, which means the opener, the obiepine or the opening. It is the same as el fata, fata. Sorry, in the Bible, fata. And one fatau or fatiha. And my Yesu Christo can say fata or say aso bie nebuana or say fata or say bie fata means be open. Cancer Christ can you know Arabic because Jesus spoke Aramaic. There is a three different. And the Christ fata. Islam or Arab is saying fatahu. Into kita has been waka ya fatahu, ya fatahu, ya fatahu. So two for Yankopon MBA Kwamana or surrender so I so Pentecost. When you are not doing anything for yourself. Kita has been on one idea susuni. Wouldn't be a council. Where sleeping and make hatching. What's the next word?
Hadi.
What is the meaning of Hadi?
The guide.
The guide. Do you have all guidance in your life? One eternity. Hello? One eternity to a brabo. It denies Siratal Mustaqim. It's in fact here. Or sing a coupon to your pampano. God guide us. And we'll be sorry. We'll be ya hadi, ya hadi, ya hadi. Send your coupon and guide no. Often an amon see. And I'm more to no. Sorry, and I walk. You have not asked God for guidance. Muslim to ho eka ya hadi wona na kutua na momba ko no hyedem after salat waka ya hadi wo wosrem kandi bie amanager but I'm what the mention as Next word then.
Hafiz.
The preserver. Nyankopon is so preserve. Me say where is the doors? There are scars doors. The preserver. Next one. Ar-Rahman, merciful. Why don't you say Nyankopon be hunu mobo? Next one then Rahim. Compassionate. Next one then Kabir. Great. Allahu Akbar. It's from the word Kabir. What you say? Do you want to be great? Because greatness, every Nyankopon meboa. Then say Kabir. You are not saying it. Obil kitatas bi ekaya kabir kabir. What was Sereno? And a spiritual practice. Next one.
Jalal.
Then Jalal, majesty. It's a deep word. To be majestic, majesty, honorable. Do you want to be honorable? Say Ya Jalal or Ya Jalil. And many more. Yes, sir. That is Islam.
In Buddhism, I will dwell more on literary social Buddhism, which I'm more conversant with. There are many beautiful teachings, but there is a standout spiritual practice that every literary social Buddhist practice at least twice a day, and it's the practice of
Gongyo.
In the practice of Gongyo, the Buddhist faces the Gohonzon, as the Muslims faces the Kaaba, and the Catholics face the altar. The Gohonzon is the object of worship in Buddhism.
Next religion, Buddhism. Hello? Yawa Hinayana and Mahayana Buddhism. Not that, Nambeka. But some become more on nature social Buddhism and not enemy. In nature social Buddhism, there were so many teachings, beautiful teachings in Buddhism. Even Abubo had the 8 words, the 10 words. Very beautiful. Seeking Shifuni, oneness of body and mind. Embankment of faith. But aside that, hello, your one strict spiritual practicer, they find the practice of Gongyo. Now, in practice of Gongyo, Buddhist bia FAC are different Gohonzon. Buddhist bia will be on the fee. The Buddhist high priest, the first Buddhist high priest, reaching that on actual. It embodies the 10 worlds and so many things in the world. A what Buddhist be fear or share na ode bompire. Now, if you enter a Buddhist be fear, now unsa bonds on body them. A DNA in boy. But if you are a Muslim, or bompire, you want to face the Kaaba. Also facing guns on. Why are you fighting the person? If we are Catholic, now Bompa, you are facing the altar. Also facing guns on. Why are you fighting him? They make an amount of the so the guns on is the object of worship in Buddhism. The
practice before the Gohonzon has a lot of steps, generally called the Damoku. It involves the recitation of portions of the Lotus Sutra, the scriptures of Buddhism, and it is also similar to part of the Salat of Islam, where part and portion of the Quran are recited in it. Once the Buddhists recite part of the Lotus Sutra, the next step is to chant the mandala. The mandala. Nam Myo Horingiku. And this elevates one to be one with the mystic law, Myoho. Every Buddhist in the whole world does this same thing regardless of the seeming differences. There is a breakaway group from literary social Buddhism called the SGI. That is Soga Gaki International. But despite the differences, Nam Myoho Renge-kyo is the same practice for them.
Good, thank you. So when you are doing Gongyo, hello? You then the steps you go to is called Daimoku. Daimoku no, before they start, Omo kind portions of the Lotus Sutra. Hello? Topic, be attentive for me, I beg you. The portions of the Lotus Sutra. The Lotus Sutra is a scripture of the Buddhists, of Buddhism. Into kind portions of the Lotus Sutra. Myoho renge kia ho bempo dani ni jise sonanjo ni kigo shadow ten. It is Japanese. Diana oye Tana beka. But you are a Muslim. Also we salata. You also recite portions of the Quran. Oh, I don't know what. Yes. On the scripture, no. The Empire will recite portions of the scripture. You are a Muslim. Also, we salata or recite portions of the Quran. The Fatiha is obligatory. Then you add any other one. You can add. Kul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. In addition to the Fatiha, the woman said, you have recited part of the Holy Quran. And a Buddhist also all recited part of the Lotus Sutra. Much you want more concern about why? But of course, Jesse has a Jesse. We are outside in our Jesse, no one shall in the Jesse. Jesse, Mikala, my parent. On a method of pen on oil, what one I will criticize on. Meanwhile, you are indirectly doing the same thing. But what you say, and I make us say, when they, after reciting the Lotus Sutra, there's a mandala that they recite, which is their mantra. It is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. One self for the move. Nyamyorenge. Anka obie na so enkopisa se, da sister, papa, Jane ya na muoka no, onkonkoti, ono wanchante. Then we back us, ribaba. There's something wrong with religion. So this is what they say. Nam myo ho renge kyo. Nam myo ho renge kyo. Nam myo ho renge kyo. What is chanting? Chanting is just repeating of what? Words. It is the same word I'm repeating. So who doesn't chant? Anytime you repeat a word, you are chanting. It is meaning the word chant. Are we not chanting in our churches when we are speaking in tongues? Let's be honest with ourselves. But are we not chanting? Nipane can nam. Hello? Name. Nipane can nam. Name. You nam. Name yourself. Nipane can myoho. Yes, the mystic law. The law be a criteria as Obani man, I will bang one a control. With the banty suffer on a bang, one a control. In some not tongue mine, one a control. It is controlled by the mystic law. You can name it any way, any way you want. But almost say a mystic law. Hello? And in Japanese it is myoho. That is what you call God in your language. But the local God and I also be an above so. But when they say mystic law myoho, it's not about personifying a deity. Into wakanda myoho. My name, calling the mystic law. Renge kyo of the law of cause and effect. Or said ye me canon. A person mene myoho mystic law near one. Everything I do is backed by the law of cause and effect. Renge. What is cause and effect? The nipple be another day. So every Buddhist can number your renge kyo. Why you conscious with this or a lie? Because the obey and around the bed of about so, and I find the law of karma, the law of cause and effect, the law of causality, the law of recompense, the nipple piano, and one ucha. Hello? The battery have been the very beautiful and simple the boy. What you see here, that's how this will be a Buddhist, not an area. One for when it will shell. Now, pay will be as on the meeting and phone be, as on the deep baller should be if you say when you're Buddhist. Hey, when you're Buddhist, we are not in Japan, I prefer Kasaba. You are the Buddhists. Shame. They make out here say, we are not for India, not for vaccine at the world. Most of them are Buddhists. Shame. We are not Korea. Some of them are Buddhist. Shame. After first person, no, they see our sign. They were who Buddhist actually. Now the air yana say, Oko Japan now, on children who feel Buddhist no, if so a business. Or Bagana, when you're Buddhist. Or Mamu Tukana, Momba Chira de Organa. Hello? That is Buddhism. Next one.
Hinduism.
Yeah.
Hinduism.
Good.
Hinduism is a religion which has so many practices aside their deep and insightful teachings. Recitation of mantras is an integral part of Hindu spiritual practice. The different sects in Hinduism, which are based on how one perceives the absolute, have different mantras to help them realize the truth about man. Those who see the absolute as a more of feminine nature practices Shaktism, and those who view the absolute as more of masculine nature practice Shivaism. In all, different mantras are recited for spiritual elevation. We must not forget that the Hindus also use beads called the mala for recitation. Below are some few Hindu mantras and their meaning.
Okay, the next religion is Hinduism. We Hindu ni obi ambe ni bi mogana. Esa we Hindu ni. Mr. Kama sansa we Hindu ni. Ndi ba pesa ni sika nyina sa we Hindu ni ntira. Nemo elder bi nye sika dia eye. Hindu ni nye sika dia oye bibi. What is wrong with us? Them asaka biu. When Hindu basically we India more. Now come medical school in India. Say Hindu professors lecturer. What is wrong with our mentality? Hinduism have very beautiful teachings. So many spiritual practices. Yes, there were sects, different sects in Hinduism. The different sects in Hinduism by because obiara se osimpu nyankopon. And if phobia sabe omoko hu se de oso ne sitie ne bo a amoba e bisa omo no obisi oso no ete se owo so koso de podua. Obisi oso te se papa e bisa okoso den na so. Obisi oso te se dua e bisa okoso na nan. The way you perceive God, ana what the faso. So in Hinduism, kwan e bi mo faso ehu nyankopon no, ana ma sex ne bae. Ebi mo gidi se nyankopon, ne su nyina te se ba. You say oba na ewo, oba na egbo ade. Ebi mo so se nyankopon ne su te se be ma, because be ma dey control ne bo a. So those who believe say nyame ne su e feminine so oba no, they practice Shaktism. And Shaktism is in Catholicism. Because you are Mariology, the study of Mary. Same Roman for so Mary Mudindinde. Do you say Shaktism? Hello? You are Fatimadism. Meaning in Islam. I do Mujid is a Fatima, the daughter of Muhammad the Prophet. Yamia Sun Jinkano. And the Queen Gaddafi was part of them. It's not Shaktism. And I didn't know Kuntra. The most important thing is say, Saosum Yamena, I will say, open so Tinyamia so far, he's so funny, sir, or Banewa Abadaye, or Banewo, or Banewa Humobro, or Bane Maho Belsuna. If you are practicing Shaktism, you can give it a different name. And I'm who say a masculine, no friend, Shivaism. Hello? So, any to know, Sunday morning in Arano, and my winning is soon. But don't forget, I said, Catholics use Rosary. The Muslims use tasbih. The Hindus also use beads called the mala. In fact, Buddhists try use beads. The Hare Krishna, they use beads. And Omanka. No more than the mala. Where's the Rosary? Where it has be, and that is where's the mala. What can I say? The most important thing is to obey kita beats are watching. When I first started in the farm, I didn't know kita beats, we kita beats. regardless of the different names. Now when ninja say what she unia now na neko. When kita huma ana ukita beats. Mo nyina mo kita beats but different. Ana when ninja say what she unia. Now Catholic are using beats of a rosary. When the Hindu are using beats of a mala. One share the name if so ira and I'm sure when if so be against on your choir. What is wrong with our mentality? This is why I founded often. But it was and Hindus there were mantras. Hello? Mantras it just like askars in Islam or the zikr. Please. Assume they are West, spiritual West, I want to say too. They are saying mantra, liberator of darkness, mantra. Adia boy you free sumu, mantra. What are some of the mantras?
Om.
O-M-O-A-U-M.
This is the sacred primordial sound of creation, and it's actually the word as referred in the Bible. Om is the only word uttered without the use of the tongue, and so even the dumb can even pronounce it.
Where they become Hinduism is Om. This is the word of creation. When asama or body, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. In Hinduism, the word is Om. Om nkwana asa woka okatama enka emu. Ka Om na hweso okatama ndafa ko. Ndafa ko. Nekasa mi kofi akoto aduane atodoko na me katama ko manum romfro. But if you say Om, unza katama na gina ho. So even the dumb can say it. It is a silent word. It is the only word that will can. Okatama emu. It is a very powerful word. Wouldn't she Quran de be answeraka? Oh, Yassam from a body in the Amonte, Amonte, Yamun Compound, to it is a sound in every creation. Number one. Number two, Sat.
Truth.
S-A-T, Sat. God is truth. Number one.
Chit.
Number three, Chit. Consciousness. The consciousness, certain kind of maya by hosono. You find a chit. You want to be consciousness, you want to be conscious, say chit. What's the next word?
Ananda.
Ananda means bliss. And most of the gurus, Ananda Kumudrium, Sri Ananda Muti, Satyananda, Hwan, Yogananda, Munkai. Omugina Ananda, so you want to be blissful. Next word.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya means you want to elevate your consciousness. Next one.
Adi Shakti Namo Namo.
You want to elevate the divine energy in us.
And a lot more.
And a lot more. So these are the practices in Hinduism. In
summary, I have tried to explain how spiritual practices run through all the religions, and so there is no need for condemnation. Get at least one spiritual practice to at least practice it regularly for your own spiritual growth. Om, heal now.
Some idea. At least obia tene esum bia betere de. So the won follow, but try to get at least a spiritual practice obere de bia man sorry greens na de asa. Practice she. Drive na mo drive you kura ko kwasa mo practice. Da no be colors go be boda utrim. Next time who the same colors you don't, you are practicing. Footballer, but anka boss side can fight. When so then I had a boy. Next time you're back, I not practicing. So learn to do one practice every day. Na emboa. Hello? Nyakopo mwae. Said the meme tia say and person you are seeing somewhere. So nipa nyina tia say anka yam konda. Anka obi andi nyo kwa tem da wate. Anka Pentecost betu na wari Roma ni ba mana yi. Anka Roma ni ba betu na wari Kremoni ba mana yi wate. Anka Pentecost ba be wari Buddhist ni ba. Anka Hindu ni ba betumi awari awoyoba embre yakikabu eba mo na ba anka they can intermarry anka yam fasom kase mo bi wari obi mo hwe awade ekoso within churches are ebu because I am in the same church Kremoni abaya bi nso buade bre no hwase. O papa Pentecost and the one pump if say Kremoni banaira. A very beautiful, nice Hindu girl. Already check no prostitute, bro, they are go prostitute. Because she's a Hindu, we are Roman, she was a woman. And then the American Montia say, he's a nice gentleman, he's a Buddhist, he chants Nami Orange pure. Now, June da form, now June will fear or Pawasam, or who are Moody Obey, who said there be Wire, or your church member, on 3 months, for starting Hinduism. When we understand this, there can be peace and coexistence. Our day be brave, because of religious differences. Let me come out here say, but it's not the same God. Nyame man from Abaku. Now, Casa di Panaira, Nanyam, so that's the from a man, only Yami. Wouldn't you answer Yami? And can you find Yankan Yamajin in Framo? And Copon boy, and yes, Auntie, Amen.